Alright, so before we actually go ahead and build our first lab, we're going to do one more prep lab together. That is this, okay? So I'm going to run this project and just give you a glimpse of what you're heading towards. So as my project runs, what I'm basically trying to get is a form that looks like this, where I have a label, I have the next button. So this is actually not a button, it's just a label. And if I click on this label, it's going to change the title at the beginning from Welcome to Cathedral to say Welcome to Visual Basic. And then I have some more labels here where it's asking me more questions. Are you a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior? And as I click on each of these labels, you guys can see that title change. So our aim is to actually go ahead and build a form that looks like this. And then the aim of this entire project is not only to get you familiar with labels, but in addition to this, we're going to add some other elements to our form. So I guess until yesterday, all of us as a class together were able to build a form like this, but I'm going to not only do this with you guys together in these lecture videos, I also am going to continue building some more on this form. So those of us who were here yesterday, you still want to pay attention and search for that new material among these video lectures, okay? So I'm going to exit out of Visual Studio and go ahead and show you how to build this form from scratch. So like we always do in our start menu, we're going to search for Visual Studio. And with that, I'm going to click on File, New, Project. As my project is loading up to this screen, we know there are 4 things we need to check in this screen: Visual Basic, Windows Format, the name of the project. It's got to be something meaningful. I'm going to call it Greetings VB. And I'm going to find a location. So this is the location in your Google Drive. And let's say I pick this folder, and I'm going to hit select folder. So it's going into my Google Drive VB folder. And I'm going to hit OK. With that, it's going to transition to this screen. Okay, so now one of the first things we'll do is we'll navigate to our toolbox and we're going to search for that label. So I'm going to do LABEL, and I found it over here, so I'm going to drag that label and stick it onto my form. Okay, remember, every time we add an object onto a form, the first thing we need to do is change the name property of our object. So right here is my name property, which currently says label1. I'm going to change that to LBL, all lowercase, LBL. I'm going to give it something meaningful, so I'm going to call it title. TLE, okay? And then I'm going to change the text of this form from label1 to now say Welcome to Cathedral. Okay, once I change the text, I'm going to play with the font. So if I click on the font, and in order to just have all these elements open up, I'm just going to click on these 3 dots. It's going to pull up to another window. And I'm just going to select this font. I'm going to say bold. And I'm going to check it to size 14. This one should be okay. And there's my Welcome to Cathedral. And I'm going to sort of center it as best I can. And let's see, let's try doing some more. So we'll change the fore color and the back color of it. Let's see, the back color, I pick a custom color, and I pick like maybe this teal. And I'm going to change the fore color as well. So fore color is the color of your text, and back color is the color of the background. And let's see what could go with that. Let's pick this dark blue color here. Okay, so that's Welcome to Cathedral. And I did that, and I look at my form window, and I'm going to actually go ahead and change the background of my form. But you see, you guys, if I click on this label, the properties change to the properties of the label. But if I click on any empty space on the form, now it's back to the properties of the form. And if I want to change the back color of the form, I'm just going to navigate to back color. I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to pick maybe that. Okay, so here's my form. And before I do anything further, I'm just going to run my form to see how things look. And just as I expected it to, there's only a single label right now. Okay, the next thing, if you guys remember in that demo I showed you, was I added another label over here and I called that next. So go ahead and search for label, drag that label and stick it somewhere in the center. And again, since it's a new object, that means it needs a name. So I'm going to go to my name property, delete the label 1 and change that to LBL. We're going to call it next. And once we have the name changed, then we're going to change the text property from label 1 to say NEXT all capital, just because I want it displayed that way. I'm going to play with the font of it. Let's see, I'll pick the same font. I'll bold it, but I'll put this to be 12. There's my next. Okay, and again, just to see if everything looks okay, I'm just going to build my project up again, and just where I expected it to do labels. If you notice, I click and I do anything, nothing's going to happen right now on my form, just because I haven't added any code to this form yet. So I'm going to exit out of this, and now what I need to think about is what code should I add to this form, right? So what we're looking for is when I click on this next label, this previous label, which says Welcome to Cathedral, should say Welcome to Visual Basic, okay? So in order to do that, I'm actually looking for a method of the next label. So remember, every object that you add to your form has two things associated with it. It has properties, right, which you see over here as I change my objects. I can see my properties change. And each of these objects have certain methods associated with it. The methods are always going to be found in your coding screen, okay? So say in order to get to that screen, I double click on my next method and it took me to I double clicked on my next label and it took me to the click method associated with this next label, which is perfect because this is the event that I'm looking for. That is, at the click of the next label, I really want my text, which says Welcome to Cathedral, to change to Welcome to Visual Basic. That means I'm going to find out what's the name that I gave this label. So if I scroll to the top, I gave this LBL title. That means what I'm doing is at LBL next underscore click, I'm typing LBL title dot text to change to Welcome to Visual Basic. Okay, and with that looking good, I'm going to just build it to see how does that look on my form right now. So I do that, I click on next, and it changes to Welcome to Visual Basic. Okay, I really don't like how this thing's centered that way, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try playing and showing you guys how can we center our label so that it's more centered than what this is. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of that. I'm going to go to my design window. What you want to do is you want to click on your label and change the anchor setting of it. So there is an anchor setting. From top left, change that to top left as well as bottom and right. Okay, once you have that set, you want to go ahead and change the auto size from true to be false. Because what we're going to do is we're going to give our label a certain width and we're going to expect that everything is always going to remain in this label. Not only that, we're going to say that our text align right here, which is top left right now, we're going to change that from top left to be centered. Okay, so now with that, both our text, Welcome to Cathedral and Welcome to Visual Basic, will be centered in this label because we gave enough room for it. I run that and I hit next and it says Welcome to Visual. Basic didn't fit. So that's telling me my Welcome to Visual Basic is actually really too big for that label. So that tells me I need to do something more than just make enough room. That is, go ahead and minimize the font as well because this font is not looking too well on it. So I'm actually going to go to my font window And where am I at? Currently, I picked 14. I'm going to go down to 12. I'm going to hit OK. And with that, I'm going to try one more time to see how does that look. And that looks much better. So welcome to Cathedral, welcome to Visual Basic. Alright, once that is done, if you guys remember, some of the next things that I did on my form was I had some more labels up here. So I'm going to go ahead and search for those labels. So I'm going to take that label, place that somewhat over here. And if you guys remember, this label right here said something like RUA and a question mark. So what I'm going to do is again name this label and I'm going to give it a meaningful name such as LBL. I'm going to call it question. Okay, I'm going to change the text of that label 1 to say instead of label 1, I'm going to put the question in there that I intended to, so RUA question mark. Okay, with that, I am going to now add some more labels onto my form. So, because there were 4 options right here, if you remember, so there is label, the one which said freshman, so I'm going to go and change the name of that from label 1 to say LBL, freshman, then change the text of that from label 1 to say freshman, then I'm going to add another label right next to it. I'm going to again change the name of that from label 1 to say LBL, sophomore, and I'm going to change the text of that to also say sophomore. I'm going to add another label here. I'm going to say this is my LBL junior. And I'm going to change the text of that to say junior. And finally, my last label that I intended to add, I'm going to call this LBL senior. And I'm going to give it our text, label 1 to say senior. Now, I'm going to quickly play with the font and the positioning of this. I'm going to go to RUA, and for my font, what's it currently at 8? I'm going to change that to 10, and I'm going to bold that. And then my freshman, I'm going to go to my font, and I'm just going to change that to 10. I'm not going to bold it. So I'm going to say freshman, and I'm going to change that to 10. Feel free to customize this to the way that you like to see it on your form, you guys. It's meant to encourage you to test out your own ideas. I'm going to quickly just play with the positioning of this. Senior, say junior, and say I also decide to change the color, the fore color from black, and I'll change that to white. How does that look? Can't tell yet. I'm going to stick with it. Junior. And senior. And I'm going to go ahead and bold these because now that they are white, I'm not a big fan of how they look. So I'm just going to go ahead and bold it. Another way to just bold it if I wish to is just click on that, click on the plus font size and change that from false to true. Junior, false to true, and senior, false to true. For that, I'm just going to quickly build it and see if this is looking like the way it's expected to. And yeah, more or less. Okay, so I'm actually going to end this video right here and transition you guys to your next video. So I'm going to pause and Thank you for listening.